Today we're going to competitively rate the colorless silver border cards and acorn cards in Magic the Gathering. I'm going to start off with Mox Lotus. You would think, is a Mox dangerous? Well, what if we combined it with a Lotus at the same time? What would that cost? Now, despite how much you would think, okay, Mox Sapphire, Black Lotus, both cost 0. So you would think, well, maybe if you combine the two, they still add up to 0. But this time, they add up to an entire 15. Anyway, okay, it's an artifact for 15 mana. Tap to add an infinite amount of mana. How we get infinite mana out of a Lotus Mox thing, I don't know. Now, with 100 mana, which you easily can afford with your infinite mana, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, and you don't lose life due to mana burn. Well, that's great. The last ability a little bit redundant these days. Now, is this any good? I don't even know if Aspiring Spike can make this card good. Like, what are you going to do at 15 mana to cast the Mox Lotus? Like, don't you basically have infinite mana already? Like, what more do you need? Not to mention, you don't even get mana out of that thing immediately. I mean, you have to put it on the battlefield. You have to tap it for more mana. If someone, I don't know, Phyrexian Revokers the thing, you're going to be in trouble. Yeah, at 15 mana, you would already have infinite. You would think that. Maybe you don't. Maybe with Timeless Lotus and a few amulets, you'll get to 15 mana, and then you want to get to infinite mana. It's possible. Anyway, I think it's on the lower end of competitive play. It's like, it is true that it is a 1-card infinite mana combo, but at 15 mana, I think you already have more than enough anyway. All right, let's next move on. Ooh, we have no music, or we're going to have music in a second. Hold on. I love the music. Why am I forgetting the music? It's always on days like these. All right, music's back. Oh, yeah, that's true, actually. You can shape into a new it. You know what? Okay, I take it back. There's some ways to combo into this thing. If you can somehow... yeah, maybe. Maybe this is good. Maybe I'm not thinking about this right. Maybe we should be, like, trying to tinker into the Mox Lotus, not actually hard cast it for 15 mana. Maybe you guys, maybe you guys broke it. You broke the Mox Lotus. Actually is competitive. Okay, moving on. Toads had Time Machine. Toads is always here early, so Toads gets the first suggestion. Time Machine for 5 mana artifact. Tap, remove Time Machine, and target non-token creature you own from the game. Okay, so they both go away. Return both cards to play at the beginning of your upkeep on your turn. On turn X of the next game that you play with the same opponent, where X is the removed creature's converted mana cost on the X turn. Oh, I see. So if it costs 3 mana, and I guess in theory you played it on turn 3, then you can Time Machine it into the future. This seems just useless. This seems absolutely terrible. I don't even know. Like, I guess you could... It's like a way of maybe getting something on the board if you're losing. So you Time Machines. Oh, I'm lost anyway, so I'll just, like, I don't know, exile this creature and have 1 extra creature plus a Time Machine in the future. But it's, like, not helping you win the game in the games that you want to win. I think it's going to be way too clunky, not to mention it's already 5 mana. Not in love with it. Not in love with it at all. Ryan Harris with the Blacker Lotus. Yeah, you heard of Black Lotus. Well, what about the Blacker Lotus? An artifact. Tap. Tear Black Lotus into pieces. I think that's against the rules. You can't destroy Magic the Gathering cards. If you do that, like, that is like a bannable offense. Judges will have a really stern word with you if you are tearing up legal Magic the Gathering cards in front of other players. And, I mean, if this is a tournament playable card, then they're not going to like that. I mean, you can add 4 mana of any 1 color to your mana pool, play this ability as a mana source, remove the pieces from the game afterwards. So now, what it doesn't say is that, it doesn't say that you... It's not like you have a limited number of Blacker Lotuses in your deck. I mean, you can only have 4, but you can have like 50 more in your backpack. So if you tear up all 4 Black Lotuses in your deck, Well, next game, you just replace it with another Blacker Lotus and another Blacker Lotus. So long as you have millions of Blacker Lotuses in storage, you have basically a card better than the original Black Lotus. This card is absolutely busted. 0 mana, add 4 mana of any one color to your mana pool. Yeah, this is pay to win. And now it's funny that it's rare because I am so curious what the economics of a card like this would be. People are forced to shred it up in order to get its value. And you are incentivized to have a lot of Blacker Lotuses in your backpack available to replace the Blacker Lotuses you destroy every single tournament. Makes me wonder... No, you have to destroy the one that's in front of you. You have to destroy the one that's in front of you. Make a token of it and tear the token instead. Oh. But, I mean, you have to make that happen. That's a lot harder to pull off. I mean, if you're trying to play like a turn 1, turn 2 combo deck, I mean, you need that Blacker Lotus mana immediately. We can't be wasting our time making tokens of Blacker Lotus. But if you can do that, all the more power to you. That's definitely up to you. Okay, next up, let's move on to Dem's Sword of Dungeon and Dragons. Roll an agreement. Blacker Lotus, super busted. Sword of Dungeons and Dragons, 3 mana, equipment, artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and is protection from rogues and from clerics. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, create a 4/4 gold dragon creature token with flying and roll a d20. If you roll a 20, repeat this process. This is actually just an incredibly fair card. 100% this could see play. +2/+2 plus protection from rogues and clerics, although that is a little bit narrow. But the great thing is, like, when you deal damage to a player, you get a 4/4 gold dragon with flying. And that's just permanent. It's almost like, the reversed Geist of St. Traft, where instead of attacking with an angel, you get an angel instead. You get the 4/4 flyer, and you get it for forever. Keep attacking your opponent, you keep getting 4/4s. I totally could see that in competitive play, and almost maybe everyone would play it. It'd be this gigantic dragon mirror. Although it would be more interesting if you had protection from dragons, so that the creature that has protection, that has the Sword of Dungeons and Dragons, can always attack into your opponent's opposing dragons as they make their own dragons. It becomes this dragon standoff. I think that'd be much more interesting. But what would end up happening is whoever gets in with the Sword of Dungeons and Dragons first would just probably run away with the game, because they get the 4/4, and then your opponent with the Sword of Dungeons and Dragons gets blocked. And then it's all over. Or it would be all over. We got Cunning Linguist for the first super chat of the day. Do yourself, Seraph. Sounds like the name of a YouTube channel. Do yourself, Seraph is a 6 mana 4/4 cyborg angel. Yeah, she did herself, I guess. Flying, whenever do-it-yourself Seraph attacks, you may search your library for an artifact card. Exile it, then shuffle your library. That's it? We exiled it? Do-it-yourself Seraph has the text box of each card exiled with do-it-yourself Seraph in addition to its own. So I get, if you blink this thing, keep exiling cards from your graveyard, do you keep adding to your do-it-yourself Seraph? Does do-it-yourself Seraph remember all the other cards you remove from the game? I'm assuming so. Every single do-it-yourself, the exile pile from do-it-yourself Seraph. It's also quite interesting. So it's basically like what is the best thing that we could get? I guess that's the real question. If we want to get an artifact card, exile it. It has the text box. I don't know if Blightsteel Colossus is that good. Would we want Scion of Draco? Like, what is the most overpowering artifact that we would want on a 4/4 flyer? I mean, you could get Blightsteel, but it's not that exciting. It's a 3-turn clock in the probably Mox Lotus. I didn't even think about that. Attack and look for an artifact. I think at this point it's too late. You don't even need Mox Lotus. Oh, no. Yeah, Mox Lotus. Sorry, I was thinking of Blacker Lotus. Mox Lotus now gives you infinite mana. Yeah, that would work. That would be Bolus's Citadel. Although I have a feeling if you're playing a deck with do-it-yourself Seraph, you're the deck is full of chunky, expensive creatures. You'll pay a lot of life in order to cast those cards. Yeah, remember, we're looking at any unglued cards. Acorn cards count as well. Actually, is this considered a colorless card? Or isn't this a white card? Or is it white mana symbols, but it's on an artifact? I'm going to count it because I have no idea how many of these, how many cards we can make a stream out of this thing today. Oh, absolutely Lounds count, 100%. Yeah, I know. I thought we were doing colorless too. I didn't even think about it. All right, but maybe artifact counts. Artifact with color counts, because I have no idea how many cards are available to make an entire show. We're bending the rules around here. We're bending the rules. I never saw this on the show when we did white cards as well. Okay, Islarf asks, do attractions count? All right, let's go look. I'll find out in a minute. Centrifuge. I guess so. I mean, I don't even know what this is. Artifact attraction. Visit each player draws a card from the library of the player to their right. You create 3 treasure tokens. So, oh, so everyone draws a card. So I draw your card, you draw my card, but I effectively get a Black Lotus. How do you get an attraction on the battlefield? I don't remember. I have no idea how attractions work. When I heard of attractions and stickers, I was like, my brain was like, nope, we're not learning anything about that. And nobody is going to play that against me in Legacy. Nope, that's never happening. So I never learned any of these rules before. I mean, it's strong. I just don't know how easy it is to pull off. Because you literally just get a Black Lotus in play. Triggered abilities open an attraction. Okay, I think this is competitive. I don't know what the enablers are. So some triggered abilities, maybe they're all trash. But if they're all like remotely playable, I could definitely see this in competitive play. It's like, okay, you draw a card, I draw a card, we draw off each other's decks. But I get a Black Lotus out of the deal. You don't. So that definitely would be great. Does Centrifuge work on the player on the right who's playing a completely different game of Magic? Ooh, good question. Carlo Molina asking the right questions around here. Okay, next up, let's look at Metallic Dranzer's Border Guardian. Border Guardian is a 4-mana 1/1 knight. Whenever you cast a silver bordered spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Border Guardian. Whenever you cast a black bordered spell, Border Guardian can't be blocked this turn. Whenever you cast a white bordered spell, Border Guardian gains double strike until end of turn. I actually think this is just too underwhelming. Literally a 4-mana for a 1/1. Okay, if you get double strike, big deal. You're gonna have to suit this up by a lot to even make this remotely playable. Well, you do get the +1/+1 counters for every silver border card that you can play, but you're gonna like have this weird mishmash of like silver border, white border, black border. I mean, for 4 mana, we can do better around here, in my opinion. Put upon sipping their coffee. I am also sipping my coffee as well. My delicious chocolate mocha frappuccino. Even in the cold of winter. We did Time Machine already. Okay, damn, with Mishra's Toy Workshop. Mishra's Toy Workshop. Oh, big teddy bears. Land, tap, add 3 colors to your mana pool. Spend this mana only on spells and abilities that put tokens onto the battlefield. Use toys to represent tokens. Broken! Absolutely broken. The token players are going mad for this card. It's like, yes, this is our time. It's exactly what we needed to cast all our token generators. Should also say anything that mentions token on a card, so you can put those enchantments that double your tokens onto the battlefield for very, very little mana. Definitely gonna be a highly played card. It's probably what token decks need too. Like, there's no competitive token deck in Magic the Gathering. I'm talking like in tournaments. Like, sure, there's like a lot of token strategies in Commander, but there's like almost nothing. Like, no real token generators. I'm not talking about like Crashing Footfalls being a token generator. How many toys you need though? I've made over 1,000 tokens. Yeah. There's never enough. Never enough. So anyway, this card just easily busted as hell. Cunning Linguist, thank you very much for your super chat. The Gray Merchant of Alphabet. Let's look up Alphabet, I bet it's the only one. It's Gary, learning his ABCs. The Gray Merchant of Alphabet is a 5-mana 2/4 zombie performer now. Instead of taking the money, he's giving away the money. When Gray Merchant of Alphabet enters the battlefield, choose... Oh, this is a black card. It's not even an artifact. Anyway, you super chat, I'll read the rest of it. For each creature you control that has the chosen letter in its name, you gain 1 life and each opponent loses 1 life. Tonic Liquid says, wow, I can't believe I made it to a live stream in the morning. No, seriously, it's at 6 a.m. How about Delighted Killbot? Delighted Killbot is a 2-mana 2/1. Click, click, whir, beep. It's a Killbot. This is terrible. I don't know what... Is there some synergy with the Killbots? Like, you know, sacrifice Killbot, do something. I might have to look at those cards, but this just in a vacuum is just a 2-mana 2/1. I mean, aren't we looking at... What is it called? Bronze Sable? Is this a Bronze Sable? I think it's called Bronze Sable. What do they say? Yeah, Bronze Sable! This card's better, though, because it has more flavor text. This one has very, very little flavor text. Very sad flavor text. It's a Killbot. Okay, Toilet Duck. And a lot of other people mentioning R&D's Secret Lair. R&D's... I like the idea that they actually have a secret lair. It's a legendary land. Play cards as written. Ignore all errata. And then tap, add 1 to your mana pool. This might be broken. Like, if you play with a lot of old cards, they do completely different things than what they are today. So there's a lot of advantages to playing with something like R&D's Secret Lair. I don't know. So I don't know if it can be broken. But I know there's a lot of cards that don't really work. They've been fixed so that they can do different things by today. Like, what are... If anyone can name some examples in the comments section, you might be able to know some... like, what's that Rock Egg card? Well, let's look at Rock Egg. Does that work? No, this is Rock Egg? Or okay, is it? I can't remember. It's like Rock Egg, if it goes to the graveyard for any reason, you get like a token or something. Use the old Time Walk from Alpha or Beta with R&D. What does that do? Time Walk? The Tim Walk. Time Walk. Beta. Take an extra turn after this one. Doesn't change anything. Take an extra turn after this one. Don't think that is too unambiguous, right? You're just gonna take another turn. Anyway, okay, okay, maybe I don't know. Maybe this can be broken, maybe it cannot. Oh, it's not exiled. That's right. Oh no, hold on. Time Walk. This one's, but the also says take. It doesn't get exiled anyway. It never did get exiled. This is not like Time Spiral or anything. Are you talking about Time Twister? The playtest Time Walk said target player loses next turn. Oh, the playtest. That's right. The playtest card. You lose a turn. You're gonna lose it. You don't gain. You lose for forever. Anyway, cool card. Okay, next up, let's go with. Oh, I was thinking. Oh, hold on. Let's investigate this one. The Rook Egg. The Rook. We're trying to break R&D's Secret Lair here. And I think this is the original. Was it the original or some reprint? If Rook Egg goes to the graveyard, yeah, a Rook 4/4 red flying creature comes into play. There you go. That's what it is. So if it goes to the graveyard by any means, like even if you milled it with Dredge, you would get that 4/4 creature anyway. It's just like hits the graveyard and it triggers. So yeah, so that is, and then they errated it to if it's put into the graveyard from play instead of from your hand or from from your library. So that was the big difference. It's a cool card, R&D Secret Lair. I like it. Ryan Harris with Ashnod's Coupon. Ashnod's Coupon. What kind of deal can we get today? It's a 0 mana artifact. Tap, sacrifice the coupon. Target player gets you a target drink. Read it, you pay any cost for the drink. This actually is competitively stone cold useless. Doesn't help you in attack or defense. It's basically a wasted card in your deck. It will save you a little bit of money if you're trying to get players at the local game store to buy you drinks, though. But you might spend more on the entry fee with, like, sort of a bogus deck to make this thing work. Use this with the secret lair thing? What is it, Kind? Oh, and are you saying this is a Kind Slaver? Or are you talking about, like, an actual card? Okay, let's look up Kind Slaver. Okay, Kind Slaver, 5 mana legendary artifact. Pay 5 taps, sacrifice Kind Slaver. A person outside the game controls target player during that player's next turn. Neither player may advise that person until the end of that turn. I don't know if this is going to help you or not. When a person outside the game, well, you just get your friend to, you know, basically mess with their board. You just got to make sure that you have someone who's competent enough to just screw up their entire hand. Yeah, this actually is good. So it's 5 mana, easy enough to activate. And if you can loop this thing over and over again, then you will get your opponent, like, locked out of the game. And, like, your opponent, you know, your friend can play with their hand face up to show you exactly what's going on. Hey, these are the cards that are available. This is what's going on in the sideboard. But they just have to play the game. Just let them know ahead of time. You know, let me know what are the goods. I think this card's good. I mean, it's effectively just a Mind Slaver. It's just a little awkward because you don't actually literally control them. Sean Abbott, Paper Tiger, Scissor Lizard, Rock Lobster. Paper Tiger. It's literally a paper tiger. You see it. Paper. Okay, 4 mana, 4/3. Creatures named Rock Lobster can't attack or block. This card is not bad. I think it's probably good in draft. It's probably bad in constructed. 4 mana, 4/3 is not particularly exciting. Let's look at Scissor Lizard. The 4 mana, 4/3 lizard. Creatures named Paper Tiger can't attack or block. So it's like a big standstill if you have all these out on the battlefield. Same thing. Probably good in limited, not so good in constructed. And then Rock Lobster. Don't know why the lobster had to be a rock. It's a 4 mana, 4/3. Creatures named Scissor Lizard can't attack or block. Rock beats scissors. Christopher F. Good morning. Okay, we're going to look at Erlich Norman's Rules Lawyer. By the way, we are going to count artifact cards with a color, just because I don't even know if we have enough colorless cards to look at today. Okay, so we have a white, 3 generic Cyborg Advisor. It's a 1/1 creature. State-based actions don't apply to you or other permanents you control. You don't lose the game due to having 0 less life or drawing from an empty library. Your creatures aren't destroyed due to damage or death touch and aren't put into a graveyard due to having 0 or less toughness. Your planeswalkers aren't put into a graveyard if they have 0 loyalty. You don't put a legendary permanent into a graveyard if you control 2 or more with the same name. Counters aren't removed from your permanents due to game rules, and permanents you control attached or combined illegally remain on the battlefield. For complete rules and regulations, see Rule 704. Cards broken. All that for 5 mana? Like, you literally are breaking the game. Like, how do you even lose the game? Your opponent literally needs to play something like you lose the game. Otherwise, if the rules lawyer is on the battlefield and can't get removed, you're invincible. I mean, it's like a strictly better worship. Strictly better worship. It's all the whole package in one. Not to mention your creatures can't die. And I don't even know how you get rid of the rules lawyer. Can it die from having, like, less than 1 toughness? Probably. Like, if I dismember this thing with that, if I collective brutality the rules lawyer, is that good enough? I hope that's good enough. Does destroy effects still kill it? I have no idea. For the answer to that, to the complete rules and regulations, you have to see Rule 704. Thank you very much. 704. Okay, next up we got Cunning Linguist with the Super Chat. Cramped Bunker. Cramped Bunker is a red-green 4 generic. Okay, this is not even colorless. Not even colorless. I'll read it very quickly because he's super chat. Enchantment! At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, that player removes a permanent he or she controls to touch, cramp, bunker, and no other permanents. If he or she can't, destroy each permanent that controls that isn't touching, cramp, bunker, then sacrifice it. Fitting Lingus, don't you know what colorless means? I think you know. Okay, we're gonna donate this super chat to what do we have next? Remember, it's colorless cards, people. Colorless. We did Ashnod's coupon. Okay, we'll do Toad's City of Ass. I wonder if it stinks around. I wonder if it smells like a farm everywhere in City of Ass. Land, City of Ass comes into play tapped. Why? Why was that necessary? Tap, add 1 and 1/2 of any one color to your mana pool. That's insane! We adding like what? So if you have 2 City of Ass on the battlefield, you'll literally add 3 mana. It's like almost a soul land. Now it does come into play tap, but I think if you have enough City of Asses in your deck or copy it, it would be. Maybe I shouldn't say it's broken. It's just good. It'll be good value if you have at least 2 out. And there are cards, at least in the Silver Border universe, where you need that half mana. Gotta play that, what is it called? Little Girl? Or something? Strictly Better Command? I guess so. Strictly Better Command Tower. Tap that ass, says Starfire Dragon. Okay, next super chat we got from Steven Long. Giant fan! Thank you very much. I can't tell if you're talking about me or this is a Magic card. No, it's a real. You know what? I'm going to take it both ways. I'm going to say that you called me a giant fan, but this is literally a giant fan. We got a 4-mana artifact blowing everything away. Pay 2, tap, move target counter from one card to another. If the second card's rules text refers to any type of counters, the moved counter becomes one of those counters. Otherwise, it becomes a +1/+1 counter. So you can move counters or you can change the counters to a +1/+1. I don't think this would be very good in competitive play. I think this is better for Commander. 4 mana to move counters, when really a lot of one-on-one Magic counters aren't really what we're fighting over. Only a villain would unleash a giant fan on anyone. Okay, next up we'll go with Weodu with the Gleemax. For 1 million mana, we've got a legendary artifact. You choose all targets for all spells and abilities. If you have infinite mana, this is good. But you really need to get the infinite mana combo off. And then, like, if you do, can you, like, not win the game some other way? Choose all targets for all spells. It is strong, though. For 1 million mana, if I had 1 million mana, would I want to play a Gleemax? Help us, R&D, under mental domination of alien brain and jar. Only chance. Gleemax's blatant disregard for flavor text. Send help. Acorn absolutely counts. 100% Acorn counts. Send me your Acorn cards. Love Acorn cards. This technically is playable. I still don't think it's good. I think there's going to be better things you can do with infinite mana. Like, you know, I don't know, shoot your opponent in the face with a fireball or something like that. All right, you heard the music. If you love Silver Border cards, you love that jank that you can play in your Commander decks, you might want to buy them at FusionGamingOnline.com, the first place I look to buy all my Magic the Gathering cards. It's also my favorite local game store. Love playing at FusionGamingOnline.com. Deal of the week this week, save 15% off all Secret Lair, singles, and sealed product. Gotta pump up that an offer you can't refuse. Oh, the Jace Kitty. An offer you can't refuse. Now that is an offer you can't refuse. You want the regular offer you can't refuse. You want the Jace Kitty. You want those Secret Lair pictures. They're so cute. They're absolutely so cute. You can get 15% off at FusionGamingOnline.com this week. But you also can get an additional 5% off. We use coupon code Nikachu at checkout to get to support the channel. It supports the channel. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. Your ticket to playing every format and any deck you want. If there's a strategy you don't like anymore, you can always change it up for something else. It's so fresh, novel, and new when you are renting cards with Mana Traders. On Magic Online, you can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_ZUE. And now back to unhinged Silver Border cards. And Acorn! Remember, Acorn silver border. What else counts? Cards with a color that are actually artifacts. We're going to count that today. Marcio with AWLO. Not. I mean, this is just not even colorless. It's not colorless at all. Ryan with Chaos Confetti. Chaos Confetti. Now, ooh, no! That Chaos Orb. So unhappy now. Pay 4 for an artifact. Pay 4 again. Tap. Tear Chaos Confetti into pieces. Throw the pieces onto the playing area from a distance of at least 5 feet. Destroy each card in play that a piece touches. Remove the pieces from the game afterwards. And you thought that was just an urban legend. They're making it into a reality. Because the idea was like a Chaos Orb. People always joked like, oh, they tore up the Chaos Orbs, and there's not so many Chaos Orbs in existence because people would tear them up to blow everything up on the battlefield. And then they turned it into a real card. The Chaos Confetti. Although I have to say, this is way more expensive. They should have just reprinted the exact same card. Like, what's wrong with that? Should have been just 2 mana, pay 1, tap, tear it up. That's good enough. For 4 mana? So it's basic. It's not really that much better than it's like worse than Navinral's disc. This is just terrible. Throw a piece onto playing area from a distance of at least 5 feet. Destroy each card in play that a piece touches. What if my opponent moves their entire board onto my board? I guess it's still playable. So you could see this in a competitive tournament. It's just really clunky. Okay, King Ginger with everything-a-majig. Everything-a-majig. Oh my goodness, there are 6 of them. Let's look at 2 of them. 5 mana artifact, pay 1, you flip a coin. Add 2 colorless to your mana pool. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast an instant. Pay 3, tap. Target player discards a card. Activate this ability only during your turn. Or pay X. Every thingamajig becomes an XX construct artifact creature until end of turn. So what are the abilities? Oh, they all change. These are just completely different cards. This one's 8 mana? Last one? Okay, this one's 5. Whoops. The first one I think is quite playable. You flip a coin half the time, you're going to get some mana. And at the very least, it becomes an artifact creature. So that's guaranteed. And then here, you can like scry 2. It's 8 mana though. Pay 1, tap, pay 1 life, create a 0/1 goat. Or you pay 7, sacrifice everything-a-majig. Choose target player at the beginning of the next end step. Exchange life totals with that player. Exchange controllable permanents. Oh my god. And exchange cards in your hand, cards in your libraries, and cards in your graveyard. What do you have to do? Build your deck full of junk so that when you like pull this off, they just have a bunch of junk? Not in love with. I'm not sure if this is good or bad. It's 8 mana too, which is you're probably dead by then. Okay, Cunning Linguist. Angelic one, or do we look at this? Angelic Rocket. Okay, this one works. Thank God. Come on. It's literally a colorless card. All right, we got an 8 mana 4/4 angel with flying. When I feel like this is supposed to be an adventure on the left. When this creature enters the battlefield, you may destroy target non-land permanent. It's good. I think this is good. I think if you have a lot of mana ramp, this is a decent play. Also, if you can like tutor this onto the battlefield, like cheat this thing onto the battlefield, it is also going to work. I think it's a very nice card. Starfire Dragon, Urza's Hot Tub. Where's Urza? Is that Urza? Is he just his head right now? How can he enjoy the hot tub? Pay 2 for an artifact. Pay 2. Discard a card. Search your library for a card that shares a complete word in its name with the discarded card. Reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. That is great! That's actually insane. Is there such that? Hold on. wizards.com/hot tub. We're going on an adventure. Take all my cookies. I don't even know what I'm looking at. It doesn't take me anywhere. It just takes me like Gatherer. That was lame. I was hoping for something a little bit more exciting. Discard a card, search your library for a card. Oh, to help you find a card. No, but wouldn't you know in your deck anyway? I wonder if that led to something like more interesting at the time, and maybe it like doesn't go anywhere interesting anymore. Most host creatures can be the base for augment cards. Oh yeah, that's true. Anyway, I think this card is a good card. I think that is a pretty neat tutor to help you find whatever you want. Search your library for a card that shares a complete word in its name with the discarded card. I think it could work. I think it's possible. We did the infinite mocks. Yeah, we've done the infinite mocks. All right, next super chat we've got from Platonic Liquid. Watermark. Oh, sorry, Water Market. Water Market is a land. Tapped, add double colorless to your mana pool. Spend this mana only to cast spells with Water Market. It's broken. It's literally a soul land. It's actually potentially way better than Ancient Tomb. It's so easy to have a Watermark in your deck, especially if your deck is full of older cards. You just fill your deck with like promos. We got like promos, F&M promos, you know, Secret Lair promo. I think Secret Lairs have some watermarks. I'm not entirely sure. But there's enough promo cards out there. Even non-promo cards. There is quite a few sets that added watermarks just as a callback to the card's original printing. So Water Market is insane. Shopping list. Lamp hand attachment. X-ray contact lenses. Discount death ray. We need a discount on that death ray. And a two-headed hammer and kitten fish. It's unbelievable. Okay, next up. We did Blacker Lotus. But we haven't done Hunter Strong's Gruzilda Monster Masher, which is a gold card. Colorless cards, please. It is a colorless show. Okay, Toads with the Letter Bomb. Letter Bomb is a 6-mana artifact. When Letter Bomb comes into play, sign it and shuffle it into target player's library. That player reveals. Hold on, you have to sign it? Sign on the dotted line over here? Yeah, sign it. So when it comes into play, you immediately have to sign it and shuffle it into target player's library. So like I can put in my opponent's library. That player reveals each card they draw until Letter Bomb is drawn. When that player draws Letter Bomb, it deals 19.5 damage to them. This cannot... I don't know if this could be worth it. Also, like, this is in your sleeve, right? What if your sleeve is just obviously different from your opponent's sleeve? Then you're going to know exactly when it's coming. It didn't say anything about rearranging the sleeve to your opponent's sleeves. So they just like an orange sleeve will really stand out in someone's like, I don't know, green deck, for example. You can't even guarantee this in any way possible. I mean, I guess the only way you could make this work is you pay 6, you give it, and then you have to force your opponent to draw their entire deck, which is just weird. And then they can deal, like, and you don't even deal lethal to them. It's a lot of damage. Don't get me wrong, it's 19.5 damage, but it's not lethal in any format. Fetch away, yeah, fetch land away the bomb. Oh, the bomb is coming close to the top of the library. Fetch. Shuffle. There'd be so much cheating with this card. But wait a minute, your opponent has the last cut. So they can just put it directly on top of your deck. Maybe this is actually based on rules. Actually, it's just 6 mana, deal 19.5 damage. Okay, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe this card's good. Because the way shuffle rules work in Magic is, let's say you put Letter Bomb in my deck. I have to shuffle my deck, but then I have to present my deck to you, my opponent, for the last cut or shuffle. But then, okay, hold on, this doesn't work. Okay, then let's say I stack the Letter Bomb on top because my sleeve is different. I then have the option to actually call a judge and get them to randomize the deck. Okay, so then Letter Bomb will not be on top. Okay, so I think this is just a bit too janky. Because obviously my opponent's just going to stack Litter Bomb on top, and then I'm going to have to get a judge to sort of look away while they shuffle the deck. You actually have that option. A lot of people don't know this, but you can get a judge to actually shuffle either your deck or somebody else's deck if you think there is some funny business going on before. Okay, next up, we've got another King Ginger special. You want more thingamajigs? More thingamajigs. Every thingamajig. Okay, we're gonna look at another 2. How about that? 5 mana for a pay 2, tap, draw a card. It's probably activates ability only if you have no cards in hand, which is not bad. It's not bad at all. Pay 8, tap, you gain 10 life is pretty good rate. And also pay 4, tap, sacrifice everything in Majig. You may put a silver border permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. I think this card's pretty good. I think this thing could see play. It's possible. Like, it's a card drawing. It's at the very least a card drawing machine, and at most it's like sort of a weird show and tell. Okay, that was 1. Let's look at another one. Pay 2, tap, move a counter from one permanent to another. If the second permanent refers to any kind of counter, the moved counter becomes one of those counters. Otherwise, it becomes a +1/+1 counter. Sounds familiar. Pay 3, tap, put a counter on target creature, and also pay 4, proliferate. No, I'm not feeling it with this one. Okay, next up. Hinaria, Pointy Finger of Doom. Pointy Finger of Doom, pointing its fingers at you. 4 mana artifact, pay 3, tap, spin Pointy Finger of Doom. Oh, in the middle of the table so that it rotates completely at least once, then destroy the closest permanent the finger points to. I mean, you're basically just straight up gambling with this, right? You have no idea. I mean, it could destroy your stuff. So it's completely random, not going to be competitive. I mean, there's a world where you get really good at spinning it, that it will likely always kill something. But, I mean, you're spending, what, 7 mana to destroy a permanent? Well, I guess you could repeatedly do it over and over again. That's the gimmick. It's not like you destroy Pointy Finger of Doom and the thing. You can continuously destroy something. Maybe in a world where you are incredibly good at spinning this card consistently to only blow up your opponent's stuff, it's actually good. Forgot, this is not going to be that random. You could get good at this. Some people are good at rolling dice. Hunter Strong with Killbot. Some of you people love your... Oh, we did look at Killbot. There's 4 Killbots. Do they all do the same thing? Killbot, kill. They're all 2 mana. I don't see the difference. I don't know why there's 4 of them. Does anyone know what the difference is between all these? We looked up one. Oh, the flavor text is different. Whir, beep, click, click. Click, click, whir, beep. Click, click, beep, whir. Click, whir, beep, click. Oh, the 4 combos. Anyway, we looked at this card. Next super chat, Platonic Liquid. With Steel Squirrel for Toads. Toads loves the squirrels. And they're metallic with Vexing Puzzle Box. What's Vexing Puzzle Box? Is that an actual card? Is this supposed to be a combo? 2 mana, 1/1 squirrel. Whenever you roll a 5 or higher on a die, Steel Squirrel gets +X until end of turn, where X is the result. So like 4 and less or nothing? That's terrible. Pay 6, roll a 6-sided die. So you get, it's like a 1 in 3 chance of rolling, and then that's it. So I guess the idea is Vexing Puzzle Box. Whenever you roll 1 or more dice, put a number of charge counters on Vexing Puzzle Box equal to the result. Tap, add 1 mana of any color, roll a d20. Roll a d20. Oh! Whenever you roll a 5 or higher on a die. Oh, it didn't even say it had to be a 6-sided die. So actually, if you can roll 20-sided die, you're a favorite. It's going to be enormous! This card is going to go from a 1/1 to like a +19/19. Then all of a sudden, you're just going to one-shot your opponent. Take them straight back. Send them 20 feet under. All right, the Steel Squirrel is I mean, if you have it in the right deck, it'll be playable. It's gonna be a bit of a janky deck, but it's possible. I mean, the price is right. It's a 2-mana 1/1. And at the very least, you can spend 6 to roll a 6-sided die. Ryan Harris's Krark's Other Thumb. Anyone not get a card yet? We have a 2-mana legendary artifact. If you would roll a die, instead roll 2 of those dies and ignore one of those results. Would go great with that squirrel deck. We did Mishra's Toy Factory. I don't know if we did Jester's Sombrero. Jester's having a good time over here. 2-mana artifact, pay 2, tap. Sack Jester's Sombrero. Look through target player's sideboard and remove any 3 of those cards from it for the remainder of the match. Sideboard, that's weird. And remove any 3 cards. You don't search their library, you search their sideboard. So this is like only a good game 1 card, and then that's it. I don't think this is good. Like, I could be wrong, but I don't think that this is good. Your opponent may not even have any good cards for you. I mean, maybe if you're like a combo deck and you're comboing off, you play Jester's Sombrero, activate it before you win the game, just so that you can, you can like kill off some of their sideboard cards against you. But they might have a lot of sideboard cards anyway. Anyway, I'm not a fan of this. You know, sometimes just stealing cards from your opponent's deck doesn't do anything. And the fact that you're stealing from the sideboard should do even less. Not competitive. We did Mox Lotus. Cunning Linguist. Good luck at the event. Donate to chat. Thank you so much, Cunning Linguist. I'll take that luck. I'm going to be at SCG Con this weekend in Philadelphia. Hope to see some of you there. I'll be playing Modern all weekend. Cunning Linguist with the Misha. Oh, no, we did Misha's Toy Factory. Did we do Urza's Funhouse, though? Tapped at a Colorless. Tapped at Infinite. What's the downside? Activate only once, and only if you control Urza's Mine, Power Plant, and an Urza's Tower. Okay, that's great. Like, that's not even that hard. Pay 7, tap. Head to askurza.com and click Urza's Funhouse. What's gonna happen at Urza's Funhouse? Ask. Oh no, I have to go. Oh, I get it. I'm not gonna go that far. I remember askurza.com though. We did Gleemax. We did Time Machine. Don't think. Ooh, Ratty with the Bronze Calendar. Okay, Bronze Calendar, pay 4, artifact, spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. That's good. You must speak in a voice other than your normal voice. I will speak like this then. When you speak in your normal voice, sacrifice Bronze Calendar, and my spells will cost 1 less to cast. Your move. Every page holds a month, every date a numeral. Yeah, this is playable. Combo decks would love this card. Okay, Toads with, what's it called? Dem has a great card. What was Dem's card? Jack in a Mox. Jack in a Mox! 0 mana! Tap, roll a 6-sided die. This ability has the indicated effect. 1, sacrifice Jack in the Box, you lose 5 life. Well, that sucks. Or you get, so that's only 1 out of 6 of that happening. Otherwise, you get white, blue, black, red, or green mana. Broken. This card is just broke. Everyone would play this card. This card's insane. It would be very awkward, though, because you know how you have to cast spells? You have to, like, play your spell and then tap everything afterwards? Like, that's the technical, I mean, I guess what you can do is you can first float the mana to see if you're going to get the mana. Because I was just thinking, sometimes have to announce the spell, then pay the mana. But then if you pay the mana with the Jack in the Box, you have to first roll the die to see if you even get the mana in the first place. And if you don't, well, then you revealed what the spell you're going to play. But you could actually do it the other way, where you just try to float the mana first. And if you get the mana, then you cast your spell. Definitely stone cold busted. It's a super Mox. It's the 1 out of 6 chance you screw up and you lose it. Super slow, bro. I'm a big fan of entirely normal armchair. Yeah, nothing wrong with this armchair, except it's a trap. Okay, artifact. During your turn, if entirely normal armchair is in your hand, you may hide it on the battlefield. How the hell do you hide this thing on the battlefield? Well, I'm just going to put this one card inconspicuously, I don't know, near my dice bag. 0 mana. Return entirely normal armchair to its owner's hand. Only any opponent may activate this ability, and only if they see entirely normal armchair. Pay 2. Sacrifice entirely normal armchair to destroy target attacking creature. So I think this card is unplayable. Because if your opponent is just aware that this card is in the metagame, they'll just look for it. And, like, how the hell do you hide entirely normal armchair? Are you going to put it completely out of sight under the playmat? I don't know if that even counts. So, during your turn, if entirely normal armchair is in your hand, you may hide it on the battlefield. But it's got to be on the battlefield. It's almost like you're trying to cheat it in play. It doesn't even have a casting cost. You can hide it under another card. And when can you do this? Oh, it has to be during your turn. So you can, like, put into play on your turn anytime. Yeah, I'm guessing you can try to hide it under another card. So you have to, like, keep both eyes on your opponent. Are you trying to slide some cards underneath your cards? What are you doing around here? Next up, we've got a lot of cool cards being suggested here. Is there Enter the Dungeon? Black card. We did Rock Lobster and all those other ones. We did Pointy Finger of Doom. What have we not done? Toad's Urza Science Project. It's a 6 mana 4/4. Again, we're rolling dice. Pay 2. Roll a 6-sided die for Urza's Science Fair Project. 1, it gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Pay 2. Or sorry, 2, it deals no combat damage this turn. 3, attacking doesn't cause it to tap this turn. 4, it gains first strike until end of turn. 5, it gains flying until end of turn. And 6, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. So the deal is there's 2 downsides and 4 upsides. And it's very expensive. Like, the 6 mana 4/4, it's like a crappy Morphling. I don't think this is that worth it. Did we do the greatest show in the multiverse? We did not do that. Greatest show in the multiverse. It's a saga. It's a 7 mana saga. As an additional cost to cast this spell, exile 5 instant and or sorcery cards you own with the same artist or different names from outside the game. What? Exile 5? With the same artist? And it has to be different name cards. Okay, chapter 1. Choose one of the exile cards at random, and you may cast it without paying its mana cost. But why do you have so many cards at this point? So as an exile 5 instant cards you own. So hold on, is that like I own outside the game? It didn't say anything like I control or it's in my deck or hand or library. It just sounds like pay 7, go into my trade binder, exile 5 cards, and then you can play one of them at random without paying its mana cost. This card's great. If that's true, if I can just go into my trade binder, I think this card's insane. It's basically 7 mana. You get 3 cards. You could play like, yeah, it's like a Wish. Broken, actually. It's an absolute bomb. Definitely would see competitive play. Okay, let's look at Turiot needs one. Turiot, the nearby planets. Nearby planet is a land with rangeling. This card is every land type, including plains, island, swamp, mountain, forest, and desert. And gate, and lair, locust, and all those Urza's ones. I like how they reference that. And all those Urza lands, too. Nearby planet enters the battlefield tapped. And when nearby planet enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless you pay 1. So if it's if it's like, does it count? Okay, I guess what it means is it immediately turns on the Urza lands, right? So this is a good card. Immediately turns them all on. It's only instants and sorceries. What, like exiling? Exile. Oh yeah, it's still like it's insane. You could get like extra turns. You could get like cruel ultimatums or something. You get a lot of stuff. Anyway, nearby planet is fantastic. Cunning Linguist with Urza's contact lenses. Didn't know they had contact lenses in this age. 0-mana artifact. Comes into play tapped and doesn't untap during its controller's untap phase. All players play with their hands face up. Clap your hands twice, tap or untap Urza's contact lenses. Well, like, what are we going to do with it untapped? So it's a 0-mana telepathy. But all players have to play with their hands face up, not just you. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Tap or untap. I don't have no idea how to use this card. I'm just gonna assume it's junk. I mean, okay, no. Whoa. Is it junk? You get to see the opponent's hand for 0 mana. There might be some combo decks that would want this, where they can just pay 0, see if the coast is clear, and then win. Maybe under very right circumstances this is good. The problem is it doesn't cycle, it doesn't do anything useful outside of just looking at the hands. And also, if you are a combo deck, you also let your opponent know what you have, so it might be dubious at best. Was this back with the continuous artifact rule where you could turn off artifacts by tapping them? Oh, maybe. Clap your hands twice, tap or untap Urza's contact lenses. Doesn't untap, but it doesn't say specifically that it's a continuous artifact or anything like that. I mean, maybe that's how it is. Maybe you have to clap your hands to untap your Urza's contact lens. But everyone's gonna see your hand, even if you tap it. But maybe you're right. Maybe this is how it works. If it's tapped, it's turned off. Triggers when a thing becomes tapped. Oh yeah, that's true. You could actually maybe go infinite with this thing, and that artifact, that mills, whenever permanents untap. Tap and untapping. Carlo, handy dandy. Clone machine. A very handy dandy clone machine. 3 mana artifact. Are they cloning things or just taking them from another dimension? Pay 2, tap, credit 2/2 colorless homunculus creature token. It must be represented by a unique hand and 2 fingers at all times. Oh, so I have like, the token is literally my fingers on the battlefield. Or it ceases to exist. Nah, this is not worth it. This is 5 mana and I have to like, use my hand to represent the homunculus. It must be represented by a unique hand, so I can't just like use 4 fingers to represent 2 creatures. I literally have to spend only 1 hand on this. And like, what if I have to use 2 hands? The way I can't look at my hand or do anything else. It's completely worthless. Too awkward, too clunky. Toy boat by Toads. 3 mana for 3/3. This reminds me of, what is his name? The Tank Engine. Thomas the Tank Engine. Now a tugboat. Cumulative upkeep. Say toy boat. Quickly. 3 mana for 3/3. I don't even think this is that worth it. It's not a very exciting card for a 3/3. And on top of that, you have to waste time saying toy boat constantly. So I would say it's unplayable. Cunning Linguist, another super chat, thank you very much. For Hinaria, split screen. Looking out for the coffee crew, as Cunning Linguist does. 4-mana artifact, when split screen enters the battlefield, shuffle your library and deal it into 4 libraries. Oh god. If anything refers to your library, choose one of your libraries for it. Play with your library's top cards revealed. Ooh! When split screen leaves the battlefield, shuffle your libraries together. So basically, you get to... This actually looks pretty good. I don't know how this card would play out, but effectively, you get to see what's on top of on 4 decks, and you get to draw exactly what you want. I actually think this card's great. I tried this card once, it was fun. I imagine. I think this card's very real. Yeah, scrying, it's like super scry. It's okay, so what's comparable to this? This is that card, Future Sight, right? Or is it Future Sight? Yeah, it's like Future Sight where you play the top. You can You can't play with the top card of your library, but you play with the top card of your library revealed. In this case, it's 4 libraries, and you can pick and choose whatever the hell you want to do from any of them. Yeah, reveal the top card of your library makes this bonkers. Also, maybe interesting, playing Sensei's Divining Top on top of all this would make it bonkers. No, I mean, combine it with Scry, take them off the top one of the library and bomb them to another. Absolute. Oh, take top and bottom to another library? That'd be funny as well. Okay, that would it. That's it. That's an amazing range of cards we saw that are competitive in Silver Border. Are we going to see them in actual play? Well, maybe R&D is looking at this stream. Now, if you want to be part of the stream, you got to be here at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Remember, I'm going to SCGCon Philadelphia this weekend. No show on Friday. We have no show. And then when I come back on Monday, there will be nothing in the morning. It will be at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. But then we're just going to go back to our regular schedule after that. Thanks everyone who supports the channel. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you support the channel with Super Chats or help other people be part of the channel with Super Chats, I really appreciate it. But the most important thing is the coffee crew who shows up here in the morning. Oh wait, Bryce has a... You want to see the last every thingamajig? Okay, hold on. We'll look at the last 2. Almost ended. Okay, we have 2 more every thingamajigs. 5 mana. Sack a land, you gain 2 life. Sacrifice a creature, you add double colors to your mana pool. That also can be good. Pay to discard a card, search your library for a card that shares a complete word in its name with the name of the discarded card, reveal it and put in your hand, then shuffle. That's also amazing. At 5 mana, I actually think that's playable. So are these just like a mix of all the other cards? I think. Okay, 6 mana artifact. Tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So like very awkward mana ramp. Pay 1, tap, say the flavor text on a card in your hand. A target opponent guesses that card's name. You may reveal the card, and if you do, and your opponent guesses wrong, draw a card. Say the flavor text. Target opponent guesses that card's name. So you really need a really good knowledge of all flavor text in order to beat this card. Pay, tap, every thingamajig deals 12 damage to target creature. That is... I think this card's very expensive, to be honest. Not that good. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone who showed up today, because you guys are the show. People like Hanaria, Ree, Starfire Dragon, Amazing, Crack Monkey, Hit Monkey. Got all the monkeys here. Mike B, Toads, Prototype Pawn. Sorry, Proto Pawn. Toads, Turiot, Platonic Liquid. Who else do we have here? Dem, Blaze, Soft Feather, Ryan Harris, Cunning Linguist, Toads. Carlo Molina. Of course, we got Bryce, Marcio, Platonic Liquid, Matchlen. Because you are the coffee crew. So as usual, my crew, keep brewing up those coffees. We'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cut.